So, World War II, been there, done that, won the medals. We've already looked at the perception of Second World War fatigue this year. Midway was a bit too defensive in justifying 360 shooter hour of victory. And look what happened there. And then of course there's a developer that has pretty much defined World War II shooters in recent years. Infinity Ward, creator of Medal of Honor and then Call of Duty, has come over all modern. And what a thoroughly brilliant decision that turned out to be. But when the leader of the pack turns, not everybody follows. And frankly, why should they? Fire! So this week we're looking at two titles confidently striding back onto the World War II battlefield, bursting with new stories to tell. Hell's Highway is the latest in Gearbox's Spielberg-esque Brothers in Arms series, leaping into Operation Market Garden in the latter stages of the war. Meanwhile, Medal of Honor Airborne follows the US 82nd Airborne Division, diving out of planes from Italy to the Netherlands. Airborne dived onto Xbox 360 and PC in September in some style, commanding an 8 out of 10 from Kristen, who gushed, "Cast off your Medal of Honor prejudice and enjoy the best World War II game to date." With no UT3 or Haze for Sony's console this Christmas, time to reappraise Airborne for PlayStation owners with an itchy trigger finger. And to do that, we were invited to get, quite literally, into the boots of a World War II paratrooper. This base in deepest, darkest Suffolk is where the 82nd Division of the game actually trained.
Right, so the purpose of today is to get us into the mines of the 82nd Airborne Division, give us a taste of a day in the life. First up is parachute training. Not quite sure what to expect. Pretty sure it doesn't involve jumping out of a plane just yet.
These days, of course, parachute jumping is a popular recreational activity, like happy slapping and drink driving. Yet 60 odd years ago, the skies were entirely free of tumbling students. Not only were these young paratroopers heading into a war zone, they were in many cases jumping out of a plane for the very first time, with equipment that looked like it had been bought off Camden Market for a $5.
I mean, there were actual guys, they were called 4-jump bastards, who jumped in every single operation into Sicily, into Italy, into France, and then into Germany.
So, over the course of a morning, we sampled the basics. How to pack your chute, how to fire a gun, and, probably quite important this bit, how to land.
Prepare to land! Land!
Who knew lying down on grass could be so exhausting?
See, this is actual exercise. Look at the sweat dripping off my
Hands
face.
it up!
Lovely.
Come and see better!
After jumping off a 2-foot tall wooden box, we graduated to the zip line. The kickback at the end, we're told, mimics the drag of the chute when jumping for real. Oh, me bollocks! Parachuting is far more than a gimmick in Airborne. It completely changes the typical approach to a war-based first-person shooter by definition. Jump out of a plane, and like one of overpaid Chelsea flop Shevchenko's strikes, you really could end up anywhere.
We quickly realized that we had to change how the game was played, turn it into an open world game, and then also change how the AI was designed and turn it to be able to react to the player from starting anywhere. So I think we've really kind of brought up the level of AI that people are going to expect from World War II first-person shooters.
So this morning we learned how to handle ourselves in a parachute, how to shoot guns, how to land, which is quite important, how to ride a line. And all the things we've learned are apparently going to be put into test this afternoon in some kind of massive, epic pitch battle between all of the teams and all of the guys that work here shooting at us. Lots of explosions, lots of vehicles. I'm just exhausted thinking about it, to be honest.
Sensing our pain, EA had prepared a little pick-me-up before sending us all out to our simulator deaths. Glamour model Keeley Hazell in period attire. We recognised her straight away from that internet video where she goes hands-free to peel her boyfriend's banana. If only James the cameraman had been here to share this magic moment. But his stand-in, Dylan, did an admirable job in his stead. Having taken the money, Keeley's heels were the only thing stopping her from running. She loved me, really.
Okay, so driving towards what I think is going to be the final battle. I just wanted to say, if I don't make it out alive, Dylan, it's been a pleasure having you at my back. I just don't think James would have had the bottle somehow.
Filthy, evil pretend Nazis backed into a corner, it wasn't long before our pretend bullets secured a glorious pretend victory. Take that, you Nazi cunt.
I hope that the event allowed everybody to just hopefully get just an inkling of what it was like to be a World War II airborne soldier. I think that we can't begin to really understand what these guys went through.
And don't just take his word for it.
I think you have to remember also about paratroopers in the Second World War. It's a new thing. It's a whole new ball game. The Germans and the Russians did it, and why anyone would want to jump out to start the whole thing going is amazing.
I think World War II has so many stories to tell, and there can be just about an infinite number of World War II movies or books or comic books, and I think there can be just about an infinite number of World War II games as well. I think what people were sick of was the exact same game in the exact same setting, and what we decided to do was not necessarily change the setting, but change the way that people played the game.
Help me out, people!
So, that's EA's case for war. What about Gearbox? The US studio's Brothers in Arms series has proved something of a breath of fresh air in an increasingly stale subgenre. The 9 out of 10 scoring Road to Hill 30 and 8 out of 10 earned in blood gave us unexpected reasons to be cheerful about World War II again. Hurrah! And on the early evidence, Hell's Highway could well be another. Authenticity, a sense of camaraderie, squad-based combat, Spielberg sentimentalism, all hallmarks of the series, they remain. And the concept of suppression is again fundamental.
A lot of shooter video games are pretty run and gun. You know, the enemy stands there and he shoots at you and you shoot at him, and you're really just kind of aggressively trying to charge through the environment and pick off your targets. Brothers in Arms tries to put you into the boots of a real soldier, and it puts you in command of a squad. And the real soldiers in real combat had to employ tactics to survive. There's no run and gun in real life.
And here's where the 4 F's come in.
We have real tactics in our games. The tactics that you use to win are the real tactics that soldiers use on the battlefield. And those tactics can be summarized into the 4 F's. You find the enemy, you want to find him first. If he finds you first, that's bad. Then you fix him. You fix him with fire. You hold him, you take away his options. And then you flank him. You find a way to get around him to his weak spot, which means he's being fired at from at least 2 directions. And then because of that, you usually win, and then you finish him.
Give us some cover from over there!
Having rattled through the first playable level ourselves, we can report that it's already working a treat. Strategic positioning of your squad and carefully timed suppressive fire frees you up to race into a flanking position while the enemy ducks for cover, giving you the perfect shot.
And if you do this well, if you use your squad and use your weapons and use the bazookas and the machine gun teams and the weapons you've got and your allies, you can totally dominate the enemy. It's very gratifying.
Perhaps a bigger challenge, though, comes with the storyline. Operation Market Garden was the last big Nazi victory of the war. However the game ends, we lose.
It was a strategic defeat for the Allies. And within this backdrop, this dramatic backdrop, we must tell a story. And so we have to help our characters find a moral victory in spite of the strategic defeat. How does it end? Are our characters going to be crushed? Do we lose? Will our audience feel bad about that? These are good questions. We're really focused in what we look at. We're not trying to be a survey of the entire war. We're not, looking at a bunch of different perspectives. We're trying to fulfill the fantasy of being a soldier in a squad.
So, there you go. Yes, it's a shooter. Yes, it's set in World War II, but it promises to deliver an experience you won't have sampled in the fleets of other titles set in the period.
I'm certain there's going to be another game where I'm a space marine and I save the world from aliens, and if it's well done, I'm going to be there. And I'm certain there's going to be another game where I'm a knight or a wizard fighting dragons and orcs, and if it's well done, I'm probably going to be there. And likewise, I'm certain there's going to be more games about soldiers and war. And some of them might be fictional wars, and some of them might be real wars. And of the real wars, there's no greater war than World War II.
Hell's Highway is out next year on 360, PS3 and PC. It's a war out there, people. Whose side are you on?
Eurogamer TV, remember this. Everybody fights, nobody quits, always attack. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. Hooah.
Frankly, we'll be sticking with Magic Randy.
The Ace of Diamonds, oh, this is a good card. It's the Ace of Diamonds. Okay, now one of the interesting things here about the Ace of Diamonds is if I put it in the middle of the deck, let's put it face down. Oop. I could sort of wave my hand, snap and wave, and it pops to the top. Did you see it jump? Did you see it go? Oh, I missed it. Hold on, I gotta rub it a little bit, and then it comes. You see? It's pretty neat.